Welcome back. I didn't climb the tower when I was in Bleakrock, so I thought I'd come back in here and read Abnab's mail, because Abnab's mail is due. It is a bit stormy here, it's a bit of snow. Bleakrock village is down there, which isn't particularly visible, and the beautiful mountains behind me which have just come out, so I am going to read. Esteemed employer, it is I, Abnab, with the latest shipment of components. I'm afraid my brother continues to compete with me for resources. Though I've managed to stay a pace ahead of him, I remain bewildered by his abandonment. As we have worked together all our lives, he shames me, and he shames our family. Honoured employer, it is Esdab who writes to you. I hope these components serve you well. You shall not be receiving a package from my brother Abnab this month. He is indisposed. He has no components to give you. At any rate, his skills cannot compete with my tremendous abilities. I've always known his arrogance would be his downfall, and today I have proved it. I've completed another shipment for you, esteemed employer, though my brother has betrayed me and works to undermine me. The bastard stole the last shipment I collected, and I have challenged a ruffian to a duel, as only one of us is going to provide this service to you. Enjoy your components, and prepare for many more from me. I think I've read this handful, but never mind. I'm pleased to report my brother and I have resolved our differences. We duelled atop the highest desert dune we could find. Sparks from the crossings of our swords lit the night, and Esdab matched me strike for strike until, with a shining, final gleaming slash, our blades shattered. No blood have been drawn, and there was nothing left to do but clasp hands. Good. May these components avail to you, my friend. I hope you'll use what I've sent both often and well. The power of enchanting should never be underestimated. Give me a dozen ways to defeat an opponent, and I'll give you twice as many enchantments to turn the tide. I think this is where I'm up to. Another shipment for you, esteemed employer. I've come to a realization today that I replace more swords than the average adventurer. Brother Esdab tells me it is the way I use them, as doorstops to fell trees, shave. But what does he know? Esdab believes that the dwarves tossed a hammer across the continent. Well, I have to say I have never broken a sword. Few weapons can match the elegant design of a good blade, and among blades the scimitars of the Red Guard stand as shining examples. The only possible improvement on such a weapon is an enchantment. You should try it. I doubt the spirit swords of the sword saints ever existed, but flaming scimitars do. I crafted one this morning. I've made a flaming sword, and I do have the Red Guard style, so I quite could possibly craft a flaming scimitar. I could, because I know the enchantments as well. May these components avail you, friend. Let it never be said that a sword isn't worth sharpening. I lost a scimitar today, when I thrust it into the gnashing gears of a dwarven construct. I don't lament it. Even a masterly crafted blade can be replaced. Fortunately for me, even a lethal dwarven machine is susceptible to a Red Guard blade. Yes, any blade. The blades I craft too, whether they be Red Guard, Breton, Nord, or Altmere, etc. Hagravens can be dangerous opponents, but my brother and I have become quite adept at fogging their minds by striking them in the brow with our sword hilts. They can't light the cave on fire when they can't see straight, and they're much easier to slay that way. May these components avail you. Your enchanting skills should be quite formidable at this juncture. Esteemed employer, have you considered utilizing a crushing enchantment? Such enchantments can turn the sharpest blades into effective bludgeoning instruments. Properly applied, one can smash ebony armor with the knife from one's boot. With the knife from one's boot. Oh! Keep the knife in the boot. Right, gotcha. I should upgrade my enchanting skill, actually. I should. Esteemed employer, my brother and I passed a Breton village under siege by creatures of angry crimson skin. We skirted the edge of the commune, and the sounds of clashing metal, cries of death, and the smell of burning flesh gave us horrified pause. We moved on. My brother and I are not heroes. Not everyone can be you, my friend. Yes, I am a hero. I'm the hero of Bleakrock. Hero of Davin's Watch. I'm the hero of a few other places. My brother and I were taking a shortcut in the city sewers, which were surprisingly unguarded, when you ran across a horde of crocodiles. Before today, I'd never been in the city sewer before, nor had I seen a crocodile. Collecting for you certainly keeps life interesting. Maybe these components of value. They may be slightly odorous. From the sewer? How do you know it's a crocodile? I've never seen one before. See, I've got to upgrade aspect. Requires aspect improvement too, then I can use blue ones. Yeah. The life of a component collector is a dangerous one, esteemed employer. As a Redguard swordsman, I regularly practice sword forms to ensure my skills are as sharpened as my blades. I've heard the sword saints of old practice forms that could conjure gusts of wind and allow them to take flight like birds. Why then? Did they ever build staircases? Jolly good question. Esteemed employer, this will seem like just another shipment to you, but my brother and I count ourselves lucky to be able to deliver it. We were trapped on a small boat when we lost our oars to a vile hawker that wanted nothing more than for us to die. We drifted for 2 whole days before reaching sight of land. Word that I could duel that beast. Yes. Enjoys this set of components, and esteemed employer, I've taken up the chase for the vile hawker that left my brother and myself stranded on a boat for days when it dragged our oars to the bottom of the seas. I can tell the flopping bastards apart by the dagger that I sunk into my opponent's flank. I tracked them to a frozen inlet to the north of Skyrim. Ooh, I'm in an island of Skyrim. Esteemed employer, I remain in the north of Skyrim, hunting the hawker that nearly killed me. Fear not, I'll ensure your shipments are uninterrupted, though enchanting components are difficult to come by out here. I spied the beast on an icy pack this morning, and will pursue. I despise it. I despise its beady, cowardly eyes. I gaze full upon that cursed hawker, and it gazes back. It had proved unexpectedly agile, and has the fortitude of 100 workhorses. But today, it has nowhere else to run. I've chased it from frozen tundra to glacial isle, on foot and by boat. It is time. May these components avail you, for I know not which of us will walk from this melee. So he wrote this before he went and scrapped, while it's trapped. Esteemed employer, I met the hawker in combat. The sun hid from us as battle dawned, and only a grey gloom lit our skirmish. My scimitar sang as I drew it, eager for blood. The bastard hawker gnashed his teeth, narrowed his beady eyes. I thought like never before. Let me assure you, the hawker's end was most disagreeable. Honoured employer, please do not tell my brother, but when Abnab bragged to you about his defeat of the hawker from Oblivion, that's not what he said, hawker from Oblivion, but hawker, yes. He brought the body home, and in his feverish delight failed to notice that there was no dagger wound on its flank, the beast's only discerning mark. I think my brother slew the wrong hawker. Oh. See, look, fire! I can make a fire scimitar. A Nordwood invited me to fisticuffs today. She was cheerful, and I assumed fisticuffs was slang for some jolly game until she punched my neck. I shoved the boot in her face, lest I be laid low. We brawled. Afterwards, my eyes were swollen, but I glimpsed her, and she smiled broadly as blood streamed through her teeth and down her chin. Yuck. More components for the esteemed employer. If one day my brother and I find a time, we would enjoy visiting you. You could tell him how he could stop wasting his time studying the sword saint myths. It's ruining his sword stances. His fighting style is full of useless flourishes and movements patterned after dubious manuals he's found. Yeah, come with me. Let's go. Scrap. Another day, another shipment. It is I, Isdab, brother of Abnab. Please ignore the rambling of my brother. It must be heaping on you. I'm sure he's mentioned that he does not relish my studies of the Sword Saints. But I read voraciously. The greatest Sword Saint rose to prominence when he was 14 years old. I am already 18. Well, I'm older than 18. Maybe his components avail you, and may Lecky avail my brother Asdab, who will not stop filling his mind with the senseless drivel of the Sword Saint legends. In our latest excursion we fought a harpy, as we do, repulsive creatures, and he swung a circular blow that took the harpy's head and nearly shaved my ear. He's going to get us killed. Honoured employer, please accept these components. Accept them as I wish my brother Abnab would accept me. I'm sure we recall that he abhors the research I conduct on Sword Saint techniques. He calls the idea of the Sword Saints a flight of fancy, and it pollutes my sword technique. But I match him in our duels with any blade. Another set of components for you, employer. I wish you could meet with my brother Esdab, for he will not listen to reason from me. He could become the greatest swordsman I've met if he would adhere to Redguard technique and forget the rubbish from the Yakudian Sword Saint manuals. They are ancient, misunderstood, and metaphorical in nature. My brother and I have finally settled our dispute and will trouble you about it no longer. Fear not, for it was not hinder, for it did not hinder our connecting in the slightest. So eager were we to prove the other sword and skills inferior that we became like a single whirling dwemer of destruction, and I was the victor. 30 slain beasts to my brother's 28. Well, at least they weren't attacking each other. That's good. Competition, eh? So you can kill the most beasts. I approve. Components for the honoured employer. We are well, brother Abnab especially, gloating as he has about what he calls his Redguard sword style, triumphing over the wasteful flourishes of my techniques, which are informed of the Yakudian Sword Saint manuals. I will never tell him, but I let him win. I'd like to think the Sword Saint would do the same. A group of bandits wanted me to collect components of them in an Alec around the caravan today and bring for them a child who had entered to escape them. I gutted them before returning the child to his nearby village. I was once too fearful to help a village fight the danger. I swore it would never happen again. Maybe these components avail you. Brave man. Honoured employer, do not understand my brother Abnab enjoys making trouble for us so. He may have boasted you about it already, but he certainly slew a group of bandits who had kidnapped a child from a Breton village. May these components avail you, for it may be a while before we can send again. Word has it the bandits seek vengeance. Oh, I've killed lots of bandits. Go ahead, kill a few more. Esteemed employer, the inn where we slept tonight was owned and run by a bandit gang. Same bandits who want me dead. Full snuck into our room in the night, but we were already on the rooftop. It was a long way down for them. Excellent. Esteemed employer, I sometimes wonder if Nocturnal manipulates fate just to amuse herself. I'm sure you recall the bandit gang that declared war on me recently, and that I tossed about a half dozen of them off the roof of their own inn. I expected I would need to flee, but the gang's leader, Gabriel Hogger, offered me a job. Oh. Esteemed employer, I don't want you to think that, though my brother and I accepted a gracious offer from a second employer, that the quality of your shipments will be affected in any way. We're committed to serving you as we have always been. May these components avail you. I found that there is nothing more useful to an adventure than preparedness. And nothing helps that better than enchantments. Just this afternoon, I burned an impeding spider's web with a fiery axe, stared straight through a lich's flame from behind my frosty helm, and smashed a skeleton to bits with the crushing edge of my knife. Crush, cut, cut. Knife's cut. You should cut through the bones with this good knife. But generally you do take something that crushes, to bash skeletons. Abnab leaves his Nikodian texture aground after long nights of studying sword saints drivel, and today I happened upon an entry about the sword Walwa. It appears that Walwa were myths even to ancient Yakuta, with the jaws of a bear and the charging strength of a boar. It's a shame when beasts go extinct, but I'm glad not to meet Walwa today. Components for you, esteemed employer. I could have lost a foot to a gua today, were it not for the strengthening spell that gave my leather boots strength like steel. Never forget to enchant from head to toes, if you can afford it, my friend, and maybe these components go a long way toward that. They will! I do need to put more enchantments on my stuff. Hey. What's this? No more. Why don't I have any more enchanting ones? Craft, enchanting. Oh! No, I'm on 2. I do have it. 10 to... Let me increase that anyway. Yes. Life's level 20 to 35. Will do. And this one? Superior blue aspect runestones. Yes, I shall upgrade that as well. Already got one hiring. And that will do! Ooh my! Look how clear that it is now. Nice! Hey, you can see down there the Bleakrock. Stunning view. Let me not be too careful, otherwise I shall end up falling off. There is the harbour from Bleakrock. Fade into the distance. And that will do for this episode. It is 18 minutes long. This is smilejos67 signing off with Dax Isidoreth Hispalensis. I'll be back in David's Watch next. Fare thee well.